Good morning, Superintendent Shane Johnson, South Australian Police Traffic Services Branch. Mobile phone detection cameras have now been operating for over 3 months. The initial 3-month trial saw a total of over 68,000 detections. Now, after 3 months of operations, that number has declined to just over 28,000. 28,120 to be exact. This decline in detections is encouraging and indicates that most drivers are getting the message. However, many continue to ignore police enforcement and education efforts and continue to use their mobile phones whilst driving, causing a safety risk to themselves and to other road users. During the first 3 months, more than 200 drivers were issued with multiple fines. Alarmingly, one driver has been issued with a total of 41 expiations. That is fines totalling over $27,000. Another 2 drivers were each issued with over 20 expiations each. Some drivers are simply not getting the message. Distraction has contributed to over 30 lives lost and over 75 serious injuries on SA roads this year alone. We're urging drivers to accept that using your mobile phone in any way other than to make calls from an approved holder is simply not an option when you're driving a motor vehicle. Remember, if you are detected by a camera, or if you are stopped by police, you will receive an expiation if you are handling a mobile phone that is not in an approved dock. This includes having your phone resting on your lap or on your leg. If it is not in a dock, then you cannot touch your phone. We need to accept that distraction causes a significant safety risk to all road users. I can use an example that should resonate with most drivers. If you're travelling at a speed of 60 kilometres an hour and you are distracted or take your eyes off the road for a period of 2 seconds, then you're travelling a total distance of 33 metres totally blind. If you increase that speed to 100 kilometres an hour, that distance increases to 55 metres. We want drivers to be aware of this safety risk and the dangers that distraction causes to all road users, and simply stop illegally using your mobile phone whilst driving. New Year's festivities are a busy time on the roads. I remind everyone using our South Australian roads, do your part to keep your families and your communities intact. Don't drink, drug, drive. Stay focused on the road at all times and have a great new year. I can take some questions.
What's the total number of fines that have been handed out so far? Amount?
So during the 3-month period, we have issued a total of 28,120 expiations from the mobile phone detection cameras.
How much is that in fines, the cost?
In fines, I don't have that total figure in fines.
Have there been any fines overturned? For example, a false detection, someone's holding something else, or they're passing something to their kid, or...
Yep. So when there is a detection, it's sent to South Australian Police, and South Australian Police has trained employees that review every single image, and not all images result in an expiation being issued. So the ones that are, those images are also provided to the drivers.
And I mean, it's dropped by, I suppose, nearly 2/3, so I suppose people are getting the message, but one person to be given 41, I mean, that's a bit excessive, don't you think?
It absolutely is. That person has had their licence suspended, and police are currently conducting further inquiries in relation to that matter.
And for people that do get done time and time again, is there I suppose, a path that they'll get harsher penalties if they're not getting the message?
Well, police will look at repeat offenders and will take appropriate action where we deem that is necessary. Yep.
That 41, how does that happen? How are they still on the road? They would lose their licence before that, right?
Yeah, this driver has lost their licence, has a fines issued suspension, and we're currently in the process of reviewing all of those expiations and taking appropriate action in relation to that driver.
Are there any hotspots? Are there any cameras that are picking up more than others?
So, of the 5 cameras, the largest detections were detected on the north-south motorway at Regency Park, and also the South Road Torrensville camera also received a large portion of those detections. So our message is we want motorists to stop using their mobile phones wherever they are. That's the message.
Given that some spots are still quite high, is there maybe, I suppose, plans to put more cameras in?
So for 2025, we do have plans for an additional 2 cameras. Those plans have commenced, and as they progress, we'll provide further details later into the year as they come available.
Can you tell us generally where they will be?
We're looking at a number of sites. In relation to locations, no, not at this point in time.
Has there been any clarification around smartwatches and where to draw the line and how that can be detected, people using that?
Yeah, sure. So smartwatches can be a form of distraction, and legislation is being looked at for 2025 in relation to smartwatches and distraction. Our message is that if it is distracting you whilst driving, then you shouldn't be looking at your smartwatch. Yep.
When do you expect those 2 new cameras to be installed?
So we would expect in the first half of 2025, if not shortly after.
How valuable are these cameras? Obviously, yeah, people are getting the message and
Sure.
seeing more installed. Is this something we will probably continue to see happen?
Look, the introduction of these 5 cameras, the statistics show that there has been a significant reduction in drivers using their mobile phones, which is absolutely encouraging. The bigger picture here is the education piece, with drivers being aware of the cameras or having received a fine. If that then changes driver behaviour, then that is absolutely a good thing.
The majority of people, they're getting a fine and they're not getting caught again, essentially.
That is a good thing because we're influencing driver behaviour and we're reducing the risk of collisions on our roads. So.
And just a quick question about the St Kilda crash that happened over the weekend. There was one from that accident who was critical. Do we have an update on that?
The 18-year-old female passenger from the St Kilda crash remains in hospital in a critical condition. I can advise the male driver has been released from hospital and has been bailed to appear in court later in January.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.